Benjamin Sesko, Sen Lammens, Manchester United's new goalkeeper and new striker. That is a reality, and it's going to cost United 80 million to get them both. This is Forever United TV. Welcome along to your midday update, everybody. I'm Adam. Get into the comments section. I'm going to break down where these reports have come from, why we got these prices, what's involved in trying to get both of these deals done, and how close they actually are, all in this update video, because there has been a lot gone on already throughout the morning since we did a last show where we talked about Manchester United's top striker target being Benjamin Sesko, and then we're talking about what's more important, the midfielder or the goalkeeper. Romano says goalkeeper, and more reports coming out this lunchtime are saying exactly the same thing. In fact, we're getting to a point where the club that has got a goalkeeper in their ranks that Manchester United want, Royal Antwerp, are expecting a bid for Sen Lammens to come in. Sesko, first of all, though, that's the big one. That is where Manchester United are going to have to spend the amount of money that would really prick up ears and make everybody pay attention, because there is a release clause embedded into Benjamin Sesko's contract. I've done some searching. I've looked up where Benjamin Sesko is. Manchester United overall, if we want to get Benjamin Sesko in on a reasonable wage, in and around where Mbumo and Cunha is, it's going to cost Manchester United approximately 23 million quid. Yeah, that's the first instalment. And when you bear in mind, Manchester United have just loaned out Marcus Rashford and have saved 17 million in wages, you can see how easy this is if Manchester United really want to make this happen. So when people come up with price tags of 65 to 70 million for Benjamin Sesko, and people get a little bit of a shiver down their spine, United can't spend that money. It's a load of crap. Of course they can spend that money. They've got it right there already near enough with what they've done with Marcus Rashford in releasing him from the club, and his whole entire wages covered. Now, obviously, Manchester United, like we discussed this morning on the live show, still have other players to release. And of course, everybody has said all of Manchester United's purchases now, or players being brought in, is going to be determined by who is sold, what money is available for Manchester United. It's not so much how much them players are sold for, it's who is sold, because they're on so much bleeding money. Like Rashford was, like Jadon Sancho is, like Anthony is. Garnacho, not so much the same in terms of wages, but he is 100% profit for Manchester United with no comeback at all. That there is where Manchester United make both of these deals happen. United looking at Sesko and Christopher Michael, a apparent Tier 1 journalist over from Germany, has said that Manchester United now are intensifying their hunt, and they're looking into the details of Benjamin Sesko, how we can make this deal happen. They're now putting all of their efforts into Sesko. We've heard that from Romano when he said that United are going to go and buy a striker. He also said at one point, that United would not spend big money on a striker, but he also said that before Brian Mbumo was done, because Brian Mbumo was the priority at the time. And now that is done, it's like it's opened the floodgates for everything else to happen. So, Christopher Michael says Manchester United have intensified their hunt and their intentions into signing Benjamin Sesko. I think we know exactly what we need to do. So apparently Manchester United have officially contacted Leipzig now to ask of what the conditions are. And when looking into this, Christopher Michael and a few other journalists have found out that there is a release clause. The release clause is what Arsenal were struggling with when they were looking for Benjamin Sesko's signature. There was a broad agreement in place, but the structure of that deal didn't suit Arsenal. And this is where they're having a problem now, Arsenal, with Victor Gyökeres. Manchester United can make this work, and can make it work better. How, you might ask? Well, we're getting rid of players that are already on our books, and all you're doing is replacing them players with players that are on less money and are costing less to Manchester United. Our revenues outscore everybody in the Premier League. This is how United make it work. The mistake we've made is that our finances and all of our outgoings are going out on the majority of the players that are not even contributing in this squad. Rashford, Sancho, Anthony, and now it's going to be Garnacho. These players are not going to feature. You could add Malacia to that. Why do you think United have isolated them 5 players? They're not going to play for United, and they take up a huge chunk of Manchester United's budget right now. And like I said at the start, the example here is you could buy Benjamin Sesko. the price is going to be about 65 million quid. That's where it's going to be. It's exactly the same as Bryan Mbeumo. When you think about Bryan Mbeumo, Manchester United's structure on this, even if it had to be a guaranteed 65 million, the player's 22. He has sell-on factor for 1, which helps United out. If they make instalments over 4 years, it's 16.25 million. We know this because that's the deal for Mbeumo. So when you think about this, actually, if United went out and bought Benjamin Sesko, the transfer fee alone is already covered by Marcus Rashford's wages missing from Manchester United's accounts. Yes, you've got to bring the wages on top of that. You've got an agent fee and everything like that. But is that not why we're going to sell Jadon Sancho for 15 million and also take off more every single month from what we're paying out right now? Jadon Sancho's costing us more than Marcus Rashford right now with the transfer fee and his wages on top. As soon as he goes, which is apparently around the corner, you are completely free to go and buy Benjamin Sesko at the price that's in his release clause in his contract. It's pretty straightforward finances. Well, maybe not as straightforward as that. There's a lot more to it. And it does depend on how Leipzig are receptive to Manchester United's offer of instalments and what they want. Maybe this is where Arsenal failed and where I do get a little bit excited that we can afford him. That is only on Man United's terms. And obviously, Leipzig might have theirs. And that could exactly be why Arsenal didn't get Benjamin Sesko. So that's where we're at with Benjamin Sesko right now and that deal. It is easily affordable, but it's going to cost between 60 and 65 million and that deal gets done. That doesn't sound too bad for a 22-year-old who's averaging 20 goals a season at the moment. Yes, you could say Bundesliga, but it's definitely not that 82 million that Liverpool are paying for Eintracht Frankfurt for the services of Hugo Ekitike, is it? You see where I'm going with this here for United. It's starting to fall into place and make sense. And I'm not surprised we're now looking at Sesko as a potential player coming into United. We talked earlier on about Rasmus Højlund going out on loan and the money that we could save there. You could easily use that money and wages from Rasmus Højlund with somebody else taking him off our books and paying a loan fee to pay for Benjamin Sesko alongside what Rashford has gone for. This is how stupid United were with wages. And then people start to realise the mistakes that we've made and how much we've overpaid players. This is when it starts to come home to roost because you realise that, can we really afford? Yeah, you can, because you've got rid of Rashford. And if Rasmus leaves with a loan fee, cheap, there's another 75 grand a week wages gone as well. So there's another 4 to 5 million a year back in the books for Manchester United. And all of a sudden, if Rashford and Rasmus are not there, forget the others for now. Just to use this as an example, Manchester United are already over 20 million a year better off. Yes, 20 million. It's crazy, isn't it? But this is how stupid we were. On to Sen Lammens, and the club have come out themselves, or reportedly Antwerp are expecting Manchester United now to make a bid in the region of 13 to 17 million, an official bid this is. It is all looking like United have made a decision now and Lammens is going to be their goalkeeper. We will see how this develops because Martinez is still there with the Garnacho to Villa link. So I can only see, like I said before, Martinez coming in if Garnacho goes to Villa. Some form of you take him, we'll take him. A bit of cash is exchanged and away we go from there. Lammens is an easy transfer for Manchester United to make. He's going to be on absolute peanuts and United will save a fortune in wages compared to what Martinez will be demanding, which is upwards of 150 grand a week wages. That's what you get for a top class operator. And like Romano said, which way do United go? What decision will United make regarding the goalkeeper? The up and coming one who's going to replace Onana in time, or someone who's just going to come in, first class keeper, and boot Onana out? But you'd be stuck with two highly paid goalkeepers at the same time. Where do United go? Do we keep the cost down and go for Sen Lammens at 23, up and coming goalkeeper, 6'4" goalkeeper, still a big unit and doing well? He would be seen to be brought in as a number 2 and then take over eventually. But you add Sen Lammens together with Benjamin Sesko, I reckon 80 million gets Manchester United their goalkeeper and their striker in the next 3 weeks. It is easily done if United want to go hell-bent and get this over the line. And that would definitely make Manchester United fans stand up and take notice. Sesko, Mbeumo and Cunha in that front three. Now you're talking. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, everybody. That is your midday updates around everything on Manchester United's transfer fronts. Get your comments in, give the video a like, and please hit that subscribe button up on your screen now. It helps the channel massively. It's completely free as well. We are going great guns right now. 92,000 subscribers is around the corner, everyone. Thanks again. I'll see you all later on in the live show.